Oh, hello there. Yes, well, the start of a new week. Hooray! I'm back at work. Boo! Yes. I mean, as you get older, I think you start to appreciate the more subtle things in life, don't you? Like, the beauty of an English short-haired cat. Yeah, that's a thing, isn't it? Or, yeah, maybe a Brett Ewins T-shirt, which you've secretly coveted for ages and finally able to get. It's quite nice as well. Or, something like your, I don't know, say 105-foot-long, metre-long yacht with a crew of 7. Just those subtle things. But one of the things that I've seen as I've got older is that I have a much less of a capacity to deal with toxic people in my life. I can't really do those kind of things anymore in the way I was in my 20s, and there's no finer example of toxic people in my life than a brief and cursory look otherwise, or perhaps more than cursory occasionally in my case, naturally, of the British media, which was on pretty much full display yesterday in terms of its, just general toxicity, one might say. The Sunday morning shows, as I've often said here, used to be a thing. Yes, Brian Walden interviewing Thatcher, all that kind of thing. You would make a date for it because it was something to watch. Yesterday we had Camilla Toomey on her show. It had both Robert Jenrick and Darren Grimes on. Now, Robert Jenrick is patently on manoeuvres and to become the next Tory party leader. I think basically somebody has already decided that he is because of the amount of airtime that he's getting. I can only guess that he's followed around by his own personal camera crew. I wonder how much that's costing somebody. Anyway, the thing to ask Robert Jenrick, of course, in terms of fare dodging and everything else, was weren't you the person who was done for fiddling your expenses when you claimed to have been travelling in place A, whereas in fact you hadn't? And the answer to that is no. Camilla isn't going to ask that because that isn't what our media's for. It's there for them to platform what their bosses want, and if that includes Robert Jenrick getting a free ride, then so be it. And it's the same with Darren Grimes, who was also on, who's I'm pretty sure has received some media training. But there was an inherent contradiction in what Darren Grimes was saying, because he was saying how dreadful it is that all this money is going to foreigners. They come over here and they're spending all this money on them. And at the same time, he was trying, in his own, Darren Grimesian way, to defend Mr. Farage and his view that we should be giving more money to people to have more children, the majority of whom, let's face it, will be immigrants, who presumably a lot of them will be, foreigners. Of this question, Camilla Toomey was strangely silent because, of course, that's the business that they're in. And I find that just mildly distasteful. Things that I find a lot more distasteful is programs like that, and this is now spread into much wider media platforms, of giving anyone on inverted commas their side a completely open, free goal, even though they are patently people who have an awful lot of issues. I mean, I've said over the past few days about our asylum-seeking Quran burning bloke who's now receiving protection from the taxpayer. He's an asylum seeker. He can't speak English. He's being paid for. British state is paying for him because he's a very disturbed individual, and yet he's a hero apparently, compared to, I don't know, all those other people that haven't burnt Qurans. And I don't know, but at the same time nobody's asking that question. Is it just me? Am I the only one that can see that? And again, yesterday we had this on GP News. We had a trainee witch, right? Okay, Druid drama witch kicked out. Druid student ousted after voicing fears over trans excess. It feels like there's no safe spaces for women. Oh no, really? A practicing witch has been left horrified after she claimed she was thrown off a Druid training course after being accused of transphobia when she spoke up about single-sex spaces. I mean, it's a lovely white ordinary sitting room there, isn't it? Yes. I personally am the firstborn child of a long line of cretinous fools. And here she is, apropos of nothing whatsoever, being given a platform because just any way to have a go at a tiny minority of people in society that have done this woman no harm whatsoever. Presumably it was all the other people on the course that kicked her off, and I'm guessing not all of them were trans. Probably 98.7% of them, certainly. But, I'm guessing that none of them were. And yet there she is in her hat, in her front room, being the victim. And this stuff all reaches its zenith or apogee or whatever other posh sort of word you want to come up with the whole Gaza apologists lot, who are given a platform anywhere to just spout lies. And they're still doing it, yeah? Basically, the entire overseas opinions that we get in the Daily Telegraph, wall to wall, is people still apologising for Israel because about 2 years ago something bad happens, and therefore they're just allowed to murder loads and loads and loads and loads of people. Yeah, not terrorists. Yeah, not radical Islamists, but people, and they're given a free go every single time. And if you raise your little voice and go, "Oh, sorry, can I just point something out?" You're a vicious, nasty anti-Semite who needs to take their views into account. Oh, imagine that, eh? Oh, we should really, I think, have done that at the end of the Second World War. All those people that were members of the Nazi Party probably felt quite bad about the fact that, they'd caused the most destructive war in human history. But I don't think anyone should have said anything because they might have felt bad, yeah? And perhaps it is that we should, I don't know, I'm just going to hazard a wild guess about this, that we should make these people feel bad. I think we should shame these people because they certainly have no sense of shame. And the media, platforming them with no questions asked, are on a completely different level from that. It goes beyond any words that I can properly describe, but it's probably a sentence with the word contempt in it. I don't think we should give these people any space whatsoever. And if they feel unhappy that people might say things to them when they go out, maybe they could just sit at home, not going out, and having a long think about things. We will get there in a year or two. In a year or two, nobody will remember ever having supported Israel. Nobody. Yeah, it won't be a thing. And they'll all still be there, and they'll all still be interviewing poor victim witches. Oh, bless them. It's not a cult. It's not a cult. Do have a lovely day if you can do, and if you can't, I don't know, get a cat maybe. That's my tip. Maybe a yacht, but certainly a t-shirt.